Welcome to Tavern Talk. Today we're brought to you by Portly Polymaths. Bring a pudgy intellectual to your next corporate event, and you've got wide-ranging conversation with no workout guilt. Informative and civil, this offer not available in university towns. Today we're here with Tom Eastmond, and Tom is a lawyer, a surfer, a father of 4 to 6. He's got some in and out going to father of 5?
4 to 6. I've got a stepson out of the house, and my niece is living with us, so we've got 5 in the house. Close enough.
So he's a papa like me. He's got a lot of little ones he's got to watch out for, and he's a big fan of Swan math. I mean, his Facebook updates on Swan math are hilarious.
Yeah, Swan math is the math curriculum, the Common Core math curriculum that I'm pretty sure is designed to make us completely enumerate.
He's also a fellow who has built more than one California mission model as well, right?
Yes, although I think I cannibalized the one to make the other. When you have 5 kids, that's basically a reality show from Newport Beach standards. You know, everybody kind of assumes you've only got the one designer kid, so they assign stuff, to exhaust a parent for that. So when we've got 4 or 5, we have to kind of accommodate.
Well, anyway, we build this show as the people of Riley's Farm, and Tom is definitely a long-term guest of the farm. And also, my memory of how we met as you and your wife came up, Danielle, to Raspberry Date Night, which we used to do up on the upper farm.
Yeah, and I think we'd come up during a fall at some point for apple picking or cider or whatever, and wound up following the farm journal that you used to do with your brilliant insights there.
That's right, the Farm Journal. Oh man, that's why I knew he was a very intelligent fellow. Is that he just loved my blog, so we've been good friends ever since. So.
Yeah, we started talking, I think, on email ourselves and had some neat conversations. But I spotted that date night. I thought that was really, really neat. And we came up from Newport, and it was just a beautiful, soft evening. Filtered light over that Pisgah Peak there, and Wilshire Peak over there. Kind of the same clouds we have today, just different from what you have on the coast. It's just a different feel. And we wound up picking the berries. I think there was one other couple there. And I believe it was your daughter Mallory who was serving, and the chicken pie and the other pie. And there was the rumor of a bear in the brush. And so we were kind of looking over our shoulders between courses.
Tom, I have a confession. When I was in junior high and high school and first 2 or 3 years of college, I wanted to be an attorney, but I wanted to be an attorney because I wanted to be president of the United States someday. And I really had no idea what the daily life of an attorney was like. And I was wondering if that's common. I mean, in other words, what made you choose that path as a career, and also whether you had any idea what it would be like to be an attorney.
That sounds kind of like me. I grew up, some of the first memories I have were of the bicentennial in '76. And so, of course, I just turned into a history-obsessed little guy. And I figured that history and politics go together, and I was at some point looking to go in that route. And then I wound up majoring in history, and as you know, your choices when you do that are either to start a living history farm, teach, which given my politics would probably not be career enhancing, or flip French fries, or to go to law school. And so I wound up doing that at USC, and got a job with a small firm, and my first major case involved a half-acre manure pile. So I figured right about there, it wasn't going to be like Boston Legal or LA Law. It was the half-acre manure pile was in the wrong half-acre.
But in fairness to the law, there is usually a story behind every conflict, though, right? I mean, it's the perfect career in a way for a storyteller, right? Because
That's really true, and you got to make, especially if you're in litigation, the story has to be the compelling story. It's not just enough to be clear. For everything that's said, there really does seem to be this impulse. People want to do justice, and the story has got to be told that makes it easy for that to come out.
With most of the attorneys I know, there is a kind of cynicism that sets in about justice after a while, right? Because of how long it drags out and how much people spend on it. I mean, would you say you're more or less idealistic than you were when you started? Or?
I'm actually probably about the same. Maybe it hasn't set in yet. Give me a couple more years. But generally, I'm speaking. I find that reason can win the day.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you know, you do see all the instances where just absurdity comes out. And money, of course, is a huge part of it.
Unlike someone who's going to become a doctor or someone who's going to be, become a biologist or whatever, you have some conception of what you're actually doing. But the law is actually a very difficult thing to explain to people in terms of the process, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the basic rules really haven't changed since, I don't know, Henry II. The common law, the basic principles have been established. The problem is you just always get new context to apply them to. And
Steve, I understand this. Some legislative body or regulatory body comes up with something they put in writing. But in practice, the way it ends up getting enforced is a result of case law, right?
right. I mean, the idea being that if something's been examined before and a decision's been made, people coming later can look and see, okay, this is how this will apply in this situation, so they can have some kind of precedent or some kind of pattern to follow. They can anticipate what's going to go on.
No one can anticipate what's actually going to happen in the real world, right?
Right. I mean, you try to legislate for every single point, you wind up making yourself more ambiguous than you would if you just set a basic rule and run with it. And there's a tension there. I mean, the common law, the tradition that goes back to England in the Middle Ages, the basic principles never were statutory. It was, you can't cheat somebody, you can't commit fraud, you can't break a contract, all those things. Those aren't really statutory.
They became codified in effect by virtue of procedure, right? By writing down what the decisions were.
Yeah, and in some states more than others. Some states just never did codify it. California has the civil code that codifies a lot of the common law.
One of the great things about being an attorney is it's instant intellectual credibility. Do the people defer to you when they knew you were an attorney, or?
Some might. I mean, I guess that's the illusion that we want to project and sort of conceal the fact that whenever somebody asks a question, we go scurrying back to the online legal library and try to figure out exactly what's going on.
Oh, I know what I want to ask you. I'm going to ask you, this is a great question. I ask you when we come back. This is for the paid subscribers, all right? We'll be right back with Tavern Talk.